Good morning, homeroom 1 and homeroom 2, and welcome to Module 17. I am going to walk you through some feedback on Module 16, and then some tips on how to be successful as you move into this next module. I know that we have a bit of a different schedule this week because we only have 3 modules because of Monday's workday. So we are encouraging you to follow the schedule of doing 1 module per day, meaning that today is Wednesday, May 13th, so I imagine some of you are working at a slightly different pace, and that is totally fine. One thing I want to point out today is that you are going to, after watching this video, work on the 513 Module 17 document, and there is a Module 17 discussion, which is a shared document that you'll complete on Google Classroom. So just a bit of feedback from Module 16. The first is, this story, I honestly think is one of my favorites that we've read, and also is a bit complex. I think it reveals things throughout the story. We talked yesterday about inferences, and there's a lot of inferences that we need to make through this story. So one support I just wanted to remind you of is that I always record a video read aloud of myself reading through the text that you can follow along with. I read and then I ask you to pause the video to answer the guided questions. So I really think this is helpful if you are feeling like the story was confusing, or if you're just needing a little bit of support staying focused and pacing yourself. I think this can be really helpful. So as a reminder, you'll always find these videos right above where the story starts. So for today, right before section 2 of our story starts, you'll see the video. If you go to that video and you go to my YouTube channel, you can find a video from Module 16 and you can listen to the whole story. All right. Second piece of feedback. So on the mastery check for Module 16, we had some questions or kind of struggles with this idea of inferences. And so I wanted to just remind everybody that when we're looking at inference questions, it's really important to choose the answer that we can infer from the specific quote that it gives us, not just the answer that is true about the characters. If we're looking at the answers, often there will be multiple that are true for the characters and true for the story, but that are not really inferred from the specific quote we're looking at. So let's look at this first example. Question 2 says, choose the correct inference for the following evidence. She, Della, had had many happy hours planning something nice for him, Jim. Something nearly good enough. Something almost worth the honor of belonging to Jim. So let's look at these answer choices. So A, Della and Jim are poor. That's true. Like in the story, that is definitely true. We do have evidence for that in the story. Now the question is, do we really have evidence from that in this piece of text? Not really. It says she spends many hours planning something for him and she wants to be good enough. But if we just look at this quote, we don't necessarily have enough evidence to say that they are poor. Second one, Della likes giving gifts to others. Maybe? Honestly, we know in this quote that she has spent time planning to get something nice for Jim. We don't really know about other people. So maybe she likes getting gifts for others, but I don't really know if I can say that with certainty. C, Della cares deeply about her husband. I would say this is true based on what I know about the story, but also I do think we see this in the text. So it says she had spent many happy hours planning something nice for him, something nearly good enough, something almost worth the honor of belonging to Jim. So she's saying she feels like it's an honor to belong to be in a relationship with Jim. To me, that seems like she's saying she cares deeply about her husband. Lastly, Della is materialistic. Again, maybe, but I'm not really sure we can prove this one, and I almost feel like that's not true because she does want to buy something nice, but she also kind of really struggles with that process, and I don't really get the sense that she's super materialistic. Okay. So again, look specifically at the quote as you're thinking about inference throughout the story. Okay, so our agenda for today, we have our objectives, we have our vocab practice, we have a do now. You're going to continue reading The Gift of the Magi and answering guided questions. And then at the end, you're going to have this discussion post, which is your mastery check. So today you have Literacy Module 17, Module 17 discussion. Our objectives, students will be able to form an opinion about a theme in the text and express it through an SBR. And students will be able to demonstrate the ability to identify key facts in a reading by writing answers to guided reading questions with the supportive sentence. Okay, so I just wanted to give you a heads up that your master check for today is not on Edgelastic. It's actually going to be this discussion document. So I'm going to be looking that you are writing about theme in column 1. So the prompt here is to copy and paste what you wrote in your module document. After finishing part 2 of the Gift of the Magi, identify the theme of the text. Use evidence from the story to support your answer. And then after you do that, you're going to look at one of your peers' responses, and you're going to reply to them using habits of discussion. So you're going to respond to their theme, and you're going to build upon, agree with, challenge, something to build upon their response. Your response to your peer should be at least 2 scholarly sentences, and you should edit and revise your writing. So when I'm looking at this, it's a master check. I'm looking that you have edited your work, that spelling is strong, word choice is strong, that you are doing, that you are like really putting forth your best writing. Pro tips, click on habits of discussion, click on the habits of discussion link to review. There is a link here, and then respond to someone other than yourself. We've had some issues with people like writing in the same column or same row. So like writing their thing and responding to their thing. Don't do that. Respond to someone new. All right. Okay, everyone, that's all for today. Good luck. Really, really nice work as we move into week 6 of eSchool. I'm here for you if you have questions.